Hi there guys, hope you're all well and welcome back to the YouTube channel. So this is going to be the weekly outlook posted every Saturday evening. We're going to break down the US dollar, gold and also oil for the week ahead. If you have any suggestions of any other pairs that you want breaking down weekly, by all means drop them in the comments and I will start doing that for you. First, let's just have a quick look at the US dollar news for the week ahead. So we've got PMI on Tuesday, which is definitely going to move the market. Wednesday is clear. And then Thursday we have the GDP. And then Friday we've got the core spending. Okay. So overall, a semi-quiet week for the dollar. There's still obviously going to be movement with them news events. But again, what we'll do to start with, we'll just break down the dollar. And then obviously let's do that. So let me just move that for the time being. So what we will do initially, I'm going to use the strategy that you see in the YouTube videos. So firstly, what I will do for the example of this video is start with my trend lines. So my first trend line is going to be like so, from the high to the second high, and this is obviously where I will try find my third. Once I've done this, I'm now just going to draw some Fibonacci's. So the first Fibonacci will be from the top down to where the pullbacks happened. If we look, the 38 has been hit through news, the 50 and the 61 has, the 78 is yet to be hit. So what I will do, just using this here, I'm going to have a 78 fib with 2 wicks, and then there I am going to have an area of potential weakness. So if dollar gets up to this area, I would look to see a weak dollar and pairs like pound US dollar, Australian US dollar, etc. push up. When it comes to the third touch of the trend line, I'm going to use the most recent Fibonacci here. Same again, the 38, the 50 and the 61 has been hit. So if I now look at the 78 fib, this hasn't been hit, and I also have a key level with these wicks in and around here. So then for that reason, that zone there could be an area of interest. So already, just from doing fibs and trend lines, I've identified 2 areas within the market where we might potentially find some weakness. Okay, now we can see that there's a push up, so now let's look for some areas of strength. As you can see, if I just get the Fibonacci tool and do this, what can you see? The 38, the 50 and the 61 have all been hit, so the 78 is the last one that is obviously of interest. If we go further left, what can you see? I've got a wick and a wick and a wick, therefore I've got a key level here. So just from drawing some Fibonacci's, trend lines and looking at key levels, I've now identified 3 areas within the market that I would expect some weakness from. So what we will do, I will just draw the figures on. So we've got 106.5. So obviously if you want to make note of this, then it's absolutely fine. We've got 106.5. We've got 106.8. And they're the areas of weakness for the dollar. So obviously if you want to mark them on your charts you can, or join the free group in the bio and I'll obviously update them throughout the week. There we go. So they are the areas now for the DXY. Let me add some EMAs, see if we've got any extra confluence. So the 2 EMAs here are nowhere near our areas of interest, so I'm going to hide them for the time being, whereas the 200 EMA is within this area here, so that adds confluence. As you can see with the 200 EMA, pretty much most times it's hit, you do find a reaction. So for that reason, I would expect a reaction in and around this area. So if you are interested in obviously learning this strategy a bit more in depth, then by all means you can. There's a link in the bio to the course. There's over 10 hours of content in that and it's £99. So if you really want it, then it's there. Looking at gold, so due to obviously the ongoing war at the minute with Israel, gold has been pushing up. It's a safe haven. What we saw last week was price pretty much came and tried to do the break retest of 2000, which obviously was highly anticipated. It actually went from 1998, so realistically 1995 is obviously going to be your entry in and around there. So for the time being, when it comes to gold, I'd be very careful when I'm trading it. Obviously, price has come up to this area and had a reaction. So what I might potentially expect is for price to push a little bit higher, take these people out before pushing down lower. And that's kind of what I would expect to see, just from a liquidity standpoint. If price decides to actually pull back from here, then what I would do, I'll draw this Fibonacci here, and the first Fibonacci on the chart to trade is this 38 fib. If we also look left, what can you see? You've got a big support resistance area here and also a break retest of a high. So then what I would say is, for me personally, 1930 would be good for buys on gold. We know gold likes a break and retest, and this is exactly what this is with other confluences. So that is something to bear in mind. If we just quickly draw a trend line, I'm just curious to see if there's a potential break retest anywhere. So realistically, the break retest has already happened, so I'm not going to be involved in that. And then let me just add the EMAs and see. So straight away you can see with the EMAs, as of right now, the EMA is in the zone. By the time gold pushes down to here, these two EMAs could be further across. Okay, so that's obviously something to bear in mind as well. So that is it for gold. Let's now look at oil. So oil is exactly the same. We've seen it push up due to obviously the war. So let's just have a quick look. Firstly, let's have a look in terms of trend lines. So I'd have one there, got a first and second touch. We've then got this here, first and second touch. So straight away when I'm looking at this here, I'm thinking, where is this third touch going to be? Is there anything which stands out? So we'll draw some Fibonacci's as well. So I'm going to draw a Fibonacci on the most recent move here, but then I'm also going to draw a Fibonacci on the main move, and let's just see if anything lines up. So as of right now, these two Fibonacci's line up. So there's a 78 fib of this recent move and a big 38. So what I would say is that in this area here, with this key level, go further left as well, I would say that this would be my area of interest. So pretty much the 86.5 region. Okay, so let's just put that in there. 86.5 looks good for the third touch there. As well, if we look, there's a 61 fib here with this wick on the low. So I would say this would be a good area. So that's the, call it 84.5. And as you can see, with the strategy I trade, it's very simple to kind of put stuff together. All you're doing is you're charting up areas within the market. You think there's going to be strength and weakness. And then following that, you are literally just setting your trades. As well, if we look here from the big push, there's a 78 fib. So what you could say is that potentially, if the third touch happens there, then I would take the trade. Okay, so that is it for areas of strength on oil. Let's just have a look. So that's 83. We'll call it 83.5. Okay, and then finally, we need to find the areas of weakness. So we'll draw a fib from the top. As you can see, the 38 worked, the 50 worked, the 61 worked. So now let's look at the 78. What can we see? Big key level, multiple touches. So for that reason, I would be interested in shorts from that area, which is at 90, and we'll call it 90.5 with the buffer. Okay, so that would be it for oil. So just in this short video here, you've seen me chart up 3 pairs of interest. Super simple, all very strong areas. Let's also add the EMAs. And what do we see? Look at that as well. All the EMAs are there. So textbook setup, in my opinion. I'm very confident with the zones that I've marked. Obviously, if you're not already in the free group, join that to see throughout the week how these trades play out. And obviously, if you want to take them and stuff like that. All the other resources are in the bio. Any trades or pairs that you want me to look at for the next week, drop a comment and I'll obviously have a look and add it to the list. And then any questions at all, put it in the comments. So the plan now moving forward for YouTube, on a Saturday I'm going to release the weekly outlook. On a Friday, I think I'm going to release a breakdown of how my strategy performed over the course of the week. And on a Thursday, I'm going to drop an educational sort of video. Okay, so 3 uploads a week. Hopefully, obviously, that's enough to make you subscribe. But yes, guys, thank you very much for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one.